Hi, this is Roxanne. Welcome to the boring part of the lesson, if the other lesson parts weren't boring enough. What we're going to be doing is looking at paperwork today, and I'm going to apologize in advance for any coughing I share with you today. At least through the screen, you won't get my germs. Uh, excuse me. This is right here is a 6-page document titled MLA format, and it's a document that I created for you so that you didn't have to buy a $95 book on how to format your paper. The MLA format is how you format your paper for English classes. This is Tahoma 12 because this is the font and text size I like, and since I'm the teacher, I get to say that. Okay, so I'm just going to briefly, this is just read this. It shows you what to do and how to do it as far as presentation of your paper, including a works cited page. Again, it's 6 pages long at 10 cents a page. That's 60 cents, which is a lot better than the $95 that you might have to pay for an MLA formatted book. So there we are. So I'm pretty insistent that you download and copy this because you're going to be using this for the rest of the semester. And many of my students bring this with them to university and beyond because it's short and sweet. Okay. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Okay. The next document is I'm getting you ready for the literary theme analysis. Hopefully you've already looked at the YouTube video from my friend and the boring YouTube video from me. And now this is for body paragraph 1. Your analysis will have 2 paragraphs. The first one is your intro paragraph, but before you even begin your intro paragraph, please fill in the blanks here. Who is the protagonist or the main character? She starts with one name, and at the end of chapter 1 has a different one, whose name is very significant. What is her motivation? What does she want? What is her antagonist? What is keeping her from getting what she wants? What is the setting? Where does this take place? What year? What day? What kind of weather? What time of day? And depending on the evidence you choose and the theme you plan on proving, it might change. It begins in Kentucky, it goes to some diner in Oklahoma, and ends up in Arizona by chapter 3. So everybody's intro paragraph will have a different setting. The mini plot, the plot is what is happening when, and so what is happening when is what I need in your intro paragraph. Mini means I don't need a lot of sentences. Then I need you to identify a theme. You've already looked at the theme video, so you know what a theme is. And in mine, it's misogyny as a result of invisibility. If you don't know what misogyny is, it's the hatred of women. And then the theme, dictionary definition, and the source. So all of these you need to have all this before you write your intro paragraph. So I strongly urge you to download and print this paper and fill in the blanks with a pen or pencil before you move on. Now we're going to go to body paragraph 1, which is the second paragraph. As you'll notice here, I've ended, this is your thesis statement, which is always the last sentence in your intro paragraph when you're telling me what theme it is you plan on proving. And this is your body paragraph. This is where you prove to me what the theme is. And you begin with your topic sentence. Your topic sentence is like the title of your paragraph. You're basically telling me what you're planning on proving, what theme you're planning on proving. The next set of sentences are your pinpoint sentences. They always begin with the words, oh my gosh, excuse me, for example, and they begin with for example because you're going to be giving me examples. You're going to pinpoint what's going on in the story right before the evidence takes place. What's going on in the story right before the evidence that you plan on using takes place. Because you're going to be proving a theme, but you can't just say the theme is love never leads to freedom. You can't say that and then not prove it. You have to prove it. And so the concrete evidence are the words or phrases that you have chosen from the bean trees that you're using to prove that your topic sentence is true. Again, the pinpoint sentences are telling me what's going on in the story right before the concrete evidence takes place. The proper, excuse me, oh my gosh. The proper citation is the last name of the author and the page number of the evidence that you have chosen. And this is the fun part. This is where you get to share your opinion. You get to use this evidence. Some of you may have heard it taught to you as textual evidence. I call it concrete evidence. It's the same thing. You get to tell me how or why this proves the theme that you've chosen. So you've chosen a theme, you've chosen evidence that shows a theme, and here you need to show me how it shows the theme. So this is another paper that I'm pretty insistent upon you downloading and printing and filling in the blanks. This is a paper that, again, many people take to university. They just get rid of the thesis statement there so that they can put their own in later. Finally, here is a copy of a student-written analysis, literary theme analysis of the bean trees, and it's on chapter 1. Here is the header, last name and page number. Here's the heading. Here is the title, creative title. It usually has something to do with the theme. Here is the subtitle, which is the assignment, where you identified the theme. You're telling me it's a literary theme analysis. So it's not a map. It's not a diorama. It's not a piece of art. It's a literary theme analysis. And this is intro paragraph. And we're following what needs to go on with the intro paragraph. As chapter 1, the one to get away begins, we meet our protagonist, Missy, who will soon change her name to Taylor. So we already have our protagonist. We have, she lives impoverished in Kentucky with her loving mama, does not know who her daddy is, and helps out financially with the money she earns working in a hospital lab. Okay, so this is the mini plot. I'll underline that. Her goal is successfully completing high school without the burden of a baby. Okay, so that's her goal, that's her motivation, so let's italicize that. Although Missy freely admits to knowing her way around the backseat of a car, she does not want to be barefoot and pregnant. Instead, she wants to escape a world where women are treated as pieces of meat and believes leaving town translates into a successful escape. So again, we have more of a mini plot here. We know what's going on, just some facts about her. And then we have she is wrong. In every society, misogyny or the hatred of a female exists, which leads to invisibility, which is defined as not seen, hence keeping women in their place. In The One to Get Away, Kingsolver examines the theme of invisibility as the result of misogyny. I'm going to bold that. So that's the theme, that's the main idea. It's in your thesis statement, which is always the last sentence in your intro paragraph. It's always the last sentence in your intro paragraph. I'm punching my hand into my fist because that's how important it is. So I hope you hear that. Okay, so I basically told you, or Seamus O'Malley has because he's the writer, but you might have figured out by now that it's really my pseudonym as a student, that I'm proving hatred of female exists as a result of, or the hatred of women is the result of invisibility. Okay, topic sentence 1. You're telling me how you're going to prove this to be true. And so I refer to it as kind of like the title of this paragraph. While Jolene Shank's human form is treated as the piece of meat her maiden name implies, it is a young child turtle who Kingsolver uses to demonstrate the negative effects of invisibility which result from misogyny. If this is a very confusing topic sentence to you, get rid of this right now. You all know from reading chapter 1 that Jolene Shanks, you know what a shank is, look it up, it's a piece of meat, and she's treated like a piece of meat. And we know that Taylor actually refers to her looking like she is a piece of meat after she comes to the hospital. So it is a young child turtle who Kingsolver uses to demonstrate the negative effects of invisibility which result from misogyny. Okay, so this is what you're going to prove through the entire paper. I'm going to bold this as well. For example, please start this next part of your paragraph with for example. And now we've got pinpoint sentences. I am going to highlight these pinpoint sentences because I'm not going to highlight them. I'm going to give them a size 22. Okay. I'm giving them a size 22 because these, I'm emphasizing, these are the sentences that if people are going to leave sentences out, they leave these out. They don't think it matters. So let me put it this way. Pretend that I have not read this story. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know who Turtle is. I don't know anything. And so you need to let me know what's going on in the story right before the evidence takes place. I will now unbold this so that we can actually read this paper and learn from it. We'll go back to 12 because Tahoma 12 is the font and text size of choice. So we've got at this point even the child's genders in question, indicating invisibility. As to be invisible is to not exist, and I've defined invisibility. Turtle's been given away outside a Roadhouse diner. These are all pinpoint sentences. To a complete stranger, our protagonist, who is now Taylor Greer. What if Taylor were a child molester? No one seems to care because the helpless child does not matter. The child does not talk and only looks at Taylor as she drives her 1976 VW Bug toward anywhere the two of them can spend the night. Later that evening in a motel room, Taylor prepares to bathe the child who, quote, smelled like wool, end quote. Then Taylor tells us, quote, when I pulled off the pants and diapers, there were bruises, bruises, and more. The Indian child was a girl, poor thing. That fact had already burdened her short life with a kind of misery I could not imagine. I thought I knew everything, every ugly thing that one person could do to another, but I had never thought about such things being done to a baby girl. I tried not to throw up. Okay, so this is the evidence that shows the theme that invisibility leads to misogyny. In other words, if someone doesn't exist, then you can do what you want to them. But this isn't enough, even though it's powerful and even though it's upsetting, it still doesn't prove anything. Now I need to prove it. This is the fun part, and I don't mean fun. It's a difficult part, but it's the fun part in general. Of course, this analysis is difficult because the evidence I'm using is just horrific. We know that Native American girls have a 50% chance of being molested between the ages of 3 and 13. It's awful in the Native American community. In the regular old United States of America, it's 20% of girls between the ages of 8 and 21 are molested, which is also a horrible statistic. But within the Native American community, it's just outrageous. So this is the analysis part. When we read Bruises and More, Kingsolver 23, so I've cited where I've gotten this, we can infer that the child's been violently sexually molested for what is worse than a bruise, an open sore, a cut perhaps. When Taylor admits that she never thought about such things being done to a baby girl, it begs the question, what such things? Are they more than bruises? Taylor has worked in a hospital. She has seen Jolene Shank's body filleted, and yet it is in this image disturbing enough for Taylor to not throw up that ends the chapter, leaving the reader hanging. Perhaps Kingsolver wants us to imagine the bruises and worse, to make her point that within any society, those with the power can do what they want to the powerless, the too little to see, the invisible. Ironically, The One to Get Away is a deceptive chapter title in that it is Turtle who gets away, while Taylor finds herself stuck with an unwanted child, her motivation for leaving Kentucky in the first place. So that's the analysis section of the body paragraph, and then we have the works cited page. I know that you've already read the MLA formatted 6-page packet, so you know what all this is about. I've actually already taught this lesson once, and I went too long on YouTube, so I'm a little afraid about that. So I'm going to be saying farewell shortly. I think I only have 15 minutes. So your assignment is to write a literary theme analysis. Please review this tape. Please review my previous video. Please review my friend's video in cartoon form that lets you know what a theme is. Please download and print all the downloads available to you in the Week 2 tab. And I look forward to reading your analysis. I'll get back to you within 24 hours if you have any questions via email. If you're somebody who's planning on working right now on your paper and you'd like me to take a look at it tomorrow, I can do that for you. I can make time in the day. Good luck. I'm really excited about this. Don't let it freak you out. Embrace it as an opportunity to take a look at the literature that holds a mirror up to nature, that reflects nature. Look at the symbols, and and have an opinion about this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of literature. God bless. Talk to you soon.